Hey, yo, what's good with it, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Wilson, and you are now tuned in to Wilson Block 100 Radio. And we got the beautiful, amazing Jennifer Thompson on the block with us today. How you doing?
Hi, how is everybody doing? How are you doing?
We're good. We're awesome. We are honored to have you here with us for this exclusive interview with the Wilson Block. How you been?
You know, it's been, let's just say I feel more than blessed to be, having an opportunity and another chance to share my gift to the world.
No doubt.
Another day.
Absolutely. So, real quick, for our audience who are tuned in right now, can you just give us a quick background on yourself?
Well, I am a spoken word artist, also lyricist, performer, and poet.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit of how you became that.
Well, it started in college, where I was doing performances in my speech classes, and I started with that, and then kind of took on from there. It went from universities to theater.
Oh, nice.
So up and down the state, California, I've been working a lot with children, music, education.
Awesome, nice.
So yes, started kind of just in the educational realm.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So I did a little research, and you went to Berkeley, which
Yes.
I think is dope because I actually have some other sisters who went to Berkeley and different things. But so how was it going to school up there? How was it living up there?
It was an experience I will never forget. I loved it out there. Just the community, the sense of community. That's really what made my decision too, because I got accepted. UCLA and all the all of them.
The UCs,
which
right?
I loved. Yeah, all the UCs I got accepted to, but I decided, I wanted to go to UC Berkeley, which spoken word is very active out there, and it's a lot of, historically, everybody knows, historically a lot of activists of Angela Davis. I got a lot of good energy out there, and it was a lot of opportunity for me to be able to not only perform but teach and meet and collaborate with a lot of other wonderful people. So KPFA Radio, which out of Berkeley, and the government station as well. I worked a lot with them, and I did a lot of producing television out there. So Berkeley was a wonderful, wonderful place. I met a lot of good people that kind of sparked everything.
Yeah, sorry. And you also did community access work up there.
Yes.
So you worked for the public access
Yes.
show up there. Tell us about that, because I actually done some work down here at the Pasadena.
Yes. Well, I actually got in working there while I was going to Cal Berkeley. I was studying communications, and I went into, I wanted to get additional experience in my field.
Nice.
So that's what interests me in seeking out the community realm, and in the sense of media, and I wanted to go into media, and I found this was a way where I could basically produce and do my own content, have control of my content, and actually disseminate the message out to the universe, and that's what it's called Berkeley Community Media. I was able to incorporate my own poetry, and I produced episodes of a television show out there.
Speak the word.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Yes.
I'm sorry, don't mind that.
Yes. Well, Speak the Word was a 30-minute television series which incorporated spoken word and music and a lot of the local talent, which I basically found out myself, and just through my performances and shows and collaborations in the recording side of things, would meet and just put it together, and just made it happen. With a keyboard player, I just kind of brought in different musicians that were underrepresented, which I think in the Bay Area there's a lot of wonderful musicians that come out of there, and that have a lot to say. And I wanted to showcase that. So that was the essence of it. It was showcasing community talent, but also conducting interviews and hearing their voice and story.
Okay, so you conducted interviews before. How am I doing?
Not too bad.
No doubt. So I have to ask, do you play any instruments?
Well, I'm actually playing guitar and a little bit of keyboard. I played the flute in the past, so I do, yes. But my main is poetry, but I am incorporating other things. I love to learn. I can I can take on things as I go, and that's kind of what I've been doing. Recently is incorporating the guitar, acoustic guitar, as well as keyboard.
Nice, nice. So tell me a little bit about the first album.
The first album, Unveiled, was this was incorporating spoken word, which it was all my own material I wrote myself, and I collaborated with a young lady by the name of Christina Anderson, who produced a lot of the music, as well as her father, who engineered a lot of it. But incorporated her singing, her vocalizations, backgrounds, and music, original arrangements, as well as my lyric, which was original, and we incorporated that to song. So some of it was traditional song standard, and some of it was not the standard, 8-bar structure. So it was very diverse, and musically as well as lyrically.
No doubt. I mean, that's really what's expected from projects. You really gotta set your own standards. You know what I mean? So there's really no wrong way to do it. You know what I mean?
I agree. I think the more original, the better.
Yeah. And so the second album is coming out.
Yes. Well, it's been a very long process in terms of the material. Again, it's going to be very involved. It is very involved. It's because it's incorporating several different genres as well as styles.
Nice.
Vocally, yes, it's a fusion of all music. Maybe a little bit of everything, a little bit of folk, a little bit of funk.
That's right.
A little bit of doo-wop, a little bit of everything. Because I love all music, and I think people need to understand. And I would like to show the world that you can put an album out there that encompasses all music, world music.
Right, absolutely.
And so there's going to be, a little bit of everything, cultural, world music, as well as, the American, what we know of as genre here.
Thank you. And that's, you're breaking barriers with that, you know what I mean? That's, you're reaching through different cultures, reach different people.
Absolutely.
And you're able to inspire them, so that's good, that's key,
Yes,
so, actually speaking of doo-wop, you actually performed at that gala event. You want to talk about that?
Yes, just recently opened for the Globe Theater. It was the Doo-Wop Hall of Fame Coalition, an induction gala, which it was, John Wilson is actually on the board. He was over the whole thing, and we were inducting people like the Lettermans, the Angels, the Heartbeats.
Right on.
And so I wrote original piece for all these wonderful people who are so well deserving of these accolades, which they received. However, let me just say, it was a wonderful time with wonderful people, and I was able to, I hope, encompass everything as far as the artists, in terms of their giving respect back to these individuals who is more than well overdue. And so, paying homage. That's what it was. It was a tribute piece, and it was also John Wilson was doing vocals in the background. In terms of the collaborative process, it was John Wilson and myself who wrote the lyrics, and he did the background vocals to it. So
awesome.
Hopefully the world will be loving it soon when they hear it. Well, they've heard it already, but more to come.
Right
Yes.
on. So, and then you were recently at the Cinegear Expo. What they had cracking over there?
Yes. Well, it was some wonderful film professionals, and what it is, I'm sure a lot of the public is aware of what it is. Camera, lighting, going there as entertainment professional, just scoping out the different equipment, the new equipment that's come about, and so it was great. The green screen, the motion graphics, just meeting different people from around the world and different products from around the world, which exposes. Again, a lot of this stuff is brand new, hasn't ever come out on the market yet. So just reaching out, connecting with different people, networking. It was a good time, very good time. Yes.
No doubt. I just gotta ask you. And I know you're probably not expecting this question, but what do you know about the Jazz Zone?
Jazz, yes.
You know, I know Roscoe. And,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
I've been through to the Merck Park, so you've done some things
Yes.
in the Merck Park. You know.
Yes. Well, I actually first came into meeting Jazz Zone a year or so back in Leimert Park when I was actually did a piece on the stage, was right in the Vision Entertainment stage, which was Wes Montgomery piece. And I met Roscoe, and he actually let me know about the Pasadena community and brought me into a lot of the entertainment in Pasadena, which was wonderful to know in terms of the poetry scene.
No doubt.
And so he introduced me a lot of things I was unaware of.
Nice.
Wonderful person.
Absolutely.
So,
shout out Roscoe.
Yes. And so that opened a lot of other doors, and so much love to him for that in terms of the exposure of other opportunities as pertains to spoken word. And so yes, it was a wonderful time in the community of Leimert Park, where they're trying to build it back up, and so it's good to be a part of something like that, and as well as, like I said, Pasadena as well. They have a lot of great festivals and community events for artists and people that are really trying to connect with community.
Right. For sure. So, tell me a little bit about, some more people that you've worked with, you know what I mean, on your journey, and then some people you'd like to work with.
Well, you said the people, I'm sorry, you said
you worked with?
That I have worked with, okay.
And the people you'd like to work with.
Yes. Well, a couple of years back, I was a part of World Peace One, which was a concert which was for world peace, all around the world, artists. There was, Brian McKnight. There was, in terms of local, national, but then there was also Israeli artists. I mean, some wonderful artists who came together for the cause of peace, and I was able to be a part of the choir, and so that was an experience I will never forget. There was Al Jarreau, Take Six, a lot of other wonderful artists who I was able to. It was good to. The unity coming together, all different styles, genres came together in one place, Jim Henson Studios, and we just came together and, did a song, recorded it, and it was all for peace. And so that's really what I do is all about is, all people, loving all people, teaching all people, reaching all people, and, that's what this concert or this day was about, was, bringing all the artists from all, and not just genres, but countries, together and singing the same song.
No doubt. Now, when I hear you say teach, I just got to ask you, what made you, go after the whole education field? Did you actually teach at a school, or? Well,
actually I have, middle school, Vista Middle School. Actually taught a class at Vista Middle School for California Poets in the Schools. I'm a poet teacher for California Poets in the Schools.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and because I started in education, journalism, and that was the field that I was already in, I was exposed to a lot of the poetry in cultural centers, at bookstores.
Oh, nice.
So, I was able to meet a lot of these poets, published poets, these different venues that I would go to, and a lot of the venues were associated with the colleges, and a lot of these people were teachers themselves that were teaching and hosting the open mics, and that's actually how I started in high school. Was my English teacher, her husband ran a bookstore and barbershop, which did both.
Oh, wow.
So at night it was a bookstore, during the day it was a barbershop.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
And so it was actually, it was very diverse. Had a lot of good people that would come out just because they knew about it as a bookstore.
Wow.
And so most of these communities, that's kind of where the poetry starts is in either libraries, and that's kind of what initially started my career as an artist, is that realm of education, and that's kind of for me, it was just automatic because I was already studying media and I wanted to, and women, and so I'm also a health advocate, for women. So for me, it was a no-brainer.
Right. And so did you specifically want to work with kids, or was it, you pretty much just, teach anybody, right?
Well, in the beginning, it didn't start with children. Sometimes you don't really know where you're going until you get there.
Right.
There are different signs and, along the way that remind you at the time, but then at the time, you're just doing what it is that you know best, which is the poetry, and that's what I was focusing on. I was just always, I loved people, I loved community, and I was always involving myself around community events, festivals, and so a lot of the kids, a part of my career in terms of teaching came once I actually relocated from San Diego up to the Bay Area, which it was more of that community, teaching spoken word, teaching media, teaching film production, teaching editing, and all of that.
Right.
It was more prevalent in the Bay Area.
Right.
San Diego didn't have much of it, but when I went up to the Oakland community, San Francisco, it had more, where these young people were actually skilled in these different areas of media. So that kind of was what triggered everything. I saw all these young people in East Oakland, supposed to be one of the rougher, parts, which it is. Yeah. And these young people, just being inspired to do ballet, dance, and, different styles of dance. And these nonprofit organizations are trying to, really send a message saying that art does change communities.
Absolutely.
And giving them tools. And so that's kind of what where the children came in, is when I started seeing them doing the same thing I was doing, which so when I was this age, I didn't have these opportunities, and so you can't fail,
No doubt, that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, so me personally, I'm on a mission to help provide art scholarships for foster kids. You know what I mean? Because I was a foster kid who, I am who I advocate for. So I want to help do that for the next person that is an artist. You know what I'm saying? So, but back to the poetry, because I know you are a poet. You know what I mean? That's where do you draw inspiration from when you're writing new material?
Well, the first and foremost is I'm a gospel spoken word artist, so everything that I write is going to have some type of spiritual connection to it, and giving honor and glory to God, because this is why I live. This is why I'm doing this, and it's a ministry first and foremost. It was it's a ministry. I also started in the church, and as well as education. The educational part came after being started in the church and being there as a vessel of uplifted young girls like myself, who that have been through all different types of things in their lives, abuse and as you said, divorce and all different challenges, and but that's the basis of why I write, is to uplift and inspire from a God perspective.
No doubt, that's real. I like that. So, who are some people of influence to you? Understand that it motivated you to become who you are.
Well, the first, I always have to give my honor and due respect to Maya Angelou. She's actually she's a huge inspiration for me, and why I decided to be a poet. Actually, just who she was and how she decided, okay, being from the South, living in the South, and all these different experiences, and to say, I'm not going to be a product of what's going on around me, and I'm going to, be my own voice, and I just think what she did, what she stood for in terms of all people in her writing, it expressed that in her person. I mean, she inspired me in so many ways as a woman, and how she did not restrict herself and what she would have to say to the world, regardless of how bad the situation was, to just be free in your writing, and the world will love you because you're real, and it's just the essence. That's the essence of being a poet, is the light at the end of the tunnel. There's all this darkness, but where's the light? Right. And so that's what I believe. She was that light for me, and so that kind of triggered something from after her, it was just Sonia Sanchez. She was a huge inspiration for me as a spoken word artist. Her style, I've watched her for many, many years. I've read a lot of her writings. But those two, I would say, Sonia Sanchez, Maya Angelou, are two that just stand out as powerful women. And they're not only Sonia Sanchez, her delivery, how she engages her audience, and also her musicians. And someone else, I would just say, in terms of an artist, is Sade. You know, I love her. I love.
That's my girl right there.
Yeah. In terms of, because what that is poetry, and so she's also a huge inspiration, just in terms of writing style and incorporating, not being afraid to just, write. Right. And then put the music and how everything gels together with her band. So that's also an important thing for me too, is not just, oh well, I'm going to bring in any musician and have that collaboration, but to really and truly have a marriage and be a marriage with your musicians, and it be mutual respect, not that it's all about me, that you're thinking about everybody on the same level, and it's about mutual respect, and so that marriage will shine through. And I think that she does that very well. So I look up, these are people that I think are just wonderful, amazing people who have a lot to say in their lyrics and music. So Maya Angelou was just a huge force. She's a huge force, not just as a writer, as a human being. So.
Yeah, I actually, seen, the clip with your, little, you did like a multi-performance video thing. Yeah. And I felt you, I was like, oh, she's spicy, she's on fire,
Spicy, I like that.
Because sometimes I see poets that, that lack the passion, you know what I'm saying, that they understand how to form, a 16-bar verse or what have you, but not everyone knows how to deliver that performance.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. So what has been some of the challenges you faced so far?
Well, there are always many. Well, I would say just creating your own niche can be a challenge, and what you do, and not being led to do what everybody else is doing, and just continuing in your creativity, regardless.
Being able to reinvent yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. And staying true, because I write everything that I do myself, and that in itself is a challenge. That in itself is challenging, just because it's work. Right. It's work, and you want, like I said, everything I write, I want people to be moved by.
Absolutely.
And so it's not just for myself. So, I think that the collaboration can be challenging, but it's also what isn't challenging, So I think that I would say, the writing part can be challenging. That doesn't always come easy. To get inspired, sometimes it's hard.
It is. So how do you do a writer's block?
There's days that when I feel myself empty in terms of the writing, I just play music. That's what I do. I play music, and to try to get out of it, if I don't force the writing, it comes. Right. It'll just come in different forms. And if there's a project that's coming up, and I say, well, here's the theme, write about this. Sometimes it doesn't fit that, but it's always a way to where you can, interject or get your voice out there when you're stifled, or you feel stifled. Like, I don't want to get up today, I'm tired, whatever the case may be.
Right.
There's always a way to, like I said, prayer helps. Prayer helps sometimes.
Absolutely.
There's times where, that's all I can get motivated from is this is why I'm doing it, because it's a supernatural thing for me. It's beyond myself, and so that always brings me back to, okay, I have to do this. It's more of a that's what I would say. That's what brings me back and say, well, I'm not. This is not just for myself. This is for people, and I think that brings the motivation to get me out of it. That is bigger than myself, and that that I'm obligated. And when I tell myself that I'm obligated to God, and that this is a calling for me, and this is not just passion, but this is something I'm called to do and I have to do for the world. And so in order for my life to be sustaining, seeing other people at peace and seeing other people helped and healed from my words. If I can see somebody, and help somebody just through my writing, that's sufficient for me. And so, yeah, so that kind of brings it back when I just think of selfless thoughts, when I think of other people and how many people I can change with it, because I've seen transformations. Yes. Yes.
So, what is that more of the rewarding? I mean, I know it's all a treat, but.
Yes. Well, when I can say there's, like I said, I taught at Vista Middle School as a poet teacher under California Poets in the Schools, and I was seeing some of these young people have never seen spoken word or have never seen poetry or heard poetry being taught in their schools, and the fact that they just look up to it and they think that they can become anything. And as a young person, with all these influences, I think it's imperative for artists to give back, no matter what stage you are as an artist. And whenever you're waking up every day, you're growing, and if you're, it's hopefully in a good way, learning and teaching. And I just feel like it's the artist's obligation to give back, and that right there to me was. Words can't really describe when you see, the gang influence and all these other negative forces coming in, but then you're able to be up there and motivate for the better and for their lives to, not to be going off, misled, going in directions where they probably shouldn't be going in the first place, but to be that motivation for them. It makes me continue. It humbles me. Yeah. It humbles me and makes me want to continue striving for community.
No doubt.
And it's all about community.
Thank you. Yeah, you just answered another question I usually ask, which is how important is giving back to the community. But you pretty much summed that up. So that was awesome.
Yeah, so important. So important. So important. Yes.
All right. So yeah, we covered, quite a few things. What positive, encouraging words do you have for, other aspiring poets?
I would say, you don't have to just be a poet in the sense of my words are just in books and on a page, and identifying yourself as just an author or just a writer. Right. That can be taken in so many different ways, and you can take that and you can be a teacher. You can be, there's so many, the sky's the limit, with your words. Don't let just the title itself define where it's going to take you.
No doubt.
Because, a lot of times you get caught up in the semantics of things and titles and names and stuff like that.
Yeah, the false illusion of things.
Exactly. That stay true to what you want to say, and make sure that whatever you have to say is bringing some type of hope and encouragement, because all of us as poets should be standing for something, standing for what's right. And, and that's always what it's been as for poets, and that's what I would say is stay true to the truth that you're trying to convey to the world, and don't let anything else, whether it's in industry or or people, influences. Stay true to what you want to do, and as long as it's positive. As long as it's positive. That's how I always, I feel is just as a poet, is that it's separated from any other type of artist, is that we're a unique people. You know, we have a different road that we walk down, we travel on, and I think that death and life are in the power of the tongue. You have the power to speak death or speak life into somebody, and so why speak death when you have the power to transform somebody for the good?
Absolutely.
And so that's what, you know, don't compromise. Don't compromise what your values are for money, you know, or you've lost yourself. You've lost yourself.
Don't compromise your what?
Don't compromise yourself in your words.
Yeah, I like that. Don't compromise because
for money. You know,
Yeah.
just because sometimes money that'll come. You know, that'll come, but stay true to your word. You have an obligation to inspire and uplift. That should always be the obligation.
Right.
If it's anything aside from that,
Yeah,
we're not doing our job.
Right, thank you. You know, like I always say, you know, if we're gonna do anything, we're gonna do positive things, because why wouldn't we? You know.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Jennifer, you know, I'm really feeling you right now, because you know, I appreciate people that are positive role models. Me myself, I accept responsibility for how I influence my peers. So.
Yes.
You know, I'm really glad to have you on the show.
Well, I'm glad to be here. glad to be here.
So, you know, I was supposed to ask you before the show, but you got like an exclusive acapella for us, or anything lately that you've written?
Yeah. Do you want just a little snippet?
Just a little snippet.
Okay. Any particular?
It's just something that showcases your ability.
Okay. Well, here's a poem that I wrote. It's called Wake Up. One thing I have found in life is words. They are so real, as it's been said before. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. One day my friend told me he has a passion to teach the young. When you holler and yell at the top of your lungs, I have no choice but to refuse to accept your words, because I have to maintain my peace. Release your words with good intentions and with a sound mind, searching to reach higher ground with the help of the divine as I climb to reach the peak. I seek, I teach. I'm careful with my speech, get weak, still I seek. Wow,
that was amazing.
Yeah.
That's it?
That's what I was
No, you know, that's more than I can ask for. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I'll probably personally be listening back to this interview, so, you know, if I want to get another bar, you know. But yeah, so thank you. That was just so awesome. And, you know, I know you talked a lot about, you know, yourself and everything, but just to make it clear, what is your overall message, you know, to, you know, the people out there? You talked about the significance of having a message and it being positive, but what is your message that you want to direct?
Well, I would say whatever your, this is what I always have to say is truth. And for me, you know, from my standpoint, I always have to give God glory in everything that I do, and it's not for me to say, you know, for anybody else what to actually put on paper, but I would just say integrity. As long as you're true to yourself, you know, originality, and I'm all about originality and incorporating as much. The sky is the limit. There's no limitations, and that's what I would actually say is breaking down the boxes that exist, and I just feel like it's so important to whether it's, you know, like I said, genre, that there are no limits, you know, that you can create whatever you want to create, and because it's you, and just staying true to you, staying true to yourself, and not letting anybody dictate what you feel is what is needed to be heard.
Right.
If you feel if you feel something in your soul that needs to be, you know, voiced, and it's positive. I keep going back to this positivity, because again, children children listen to what we say, and we're role models. We should be.
Yeah.
And so stay true to yourself, integrity, and love. And you're, like I said, not just in your lyrics, but music, because this should be what we see as bringing the world together, not separating. It shouldn't be something used to divide people. It should be something used to bring people together, and all people of all walks of life. And so that's what I believe. Even though my sole message is, you know, giving glory and honor to God and displaying love. But it's, like I said, in the lyric, for me, it's in the lyric. I always have to expose God's love, and letting humanity know that God is real, and that's the essence for me, is, you know, God, because he's been such a huge force in my life. This is why I'm here today, why I'm here speaking and having the confidence to continue every day, and what we call music and art. It comes from our Creator, so you know, we're obligated to recognize Him and have humility, and so I think that's so important.
Right on.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Thompson. So, I mean, you just go by Jennifer Thompson. That's just what it is.
Jennifer Thompson, yes. Yes, it's very simple. Yes.
So, where could we check your stuff out? Where could we keep up with you?
Yes, right now, well, Facebook, I'm Jennifer Thompson Poet. Twitter, I'm Jennifer T _poet. Instagram, I'm Jennifer T _ spoken word artist. And YouTube, I have any work out there you all can check out. It's Jennifer Thompson Poet, Jennifer Thompson spoken word artist.
Nice, awesome. I will be definitely following up, and you know, we might get that article interview down the line. So.
Great, wonderful.
So yeah, before we cut out, you got any shout outs you want to drop?
Yes, well, I just want to, first and foremost, I want to say I love you, Pasadena, the Pasadena community. I love it here. It's amazing. So all the artists who have come in touch with, a lot of them I don't know names because I just met them for the first time, but I just want to say I love Pasadena community, Aldonia, you know, yes, yes, Aldonia, baby, she's just a wonderful person, and like I said, let me give a shout out. I have to my producer and manager, John Sly Wilson. I know he's out there somewhere running around. And it's also Sydney Chandler. She's my publicist, and she is also here with me. And I want somebody else I wanted to just graciously thank for doing what she does best. And again, hello to all the wonderful musicians who played behind me, Drake McGilvery, Drake Fry, which is my business partner as well. And Mom and Dad, hi. But yes, thank you so much for your time and doing this interview. It's wonderful. Wonderful.
It's my pleasure. You know, hey, I'm honored. You know, man, I wish I could just do this again. Right away. No, but Jennifer Thompson, it's been an honor having you here.
Pleasure.
You know,
yes.
We'll be looking forward to your, you know, upcoming projects and stuff like that. And we out.
Peace.
Wilson Block 100 Radio, son.